So that teal blue flag adorned with the eagle and the sun, representing the Central Asian fight-crazy nation of Kazakhstan. And approaching the boxing ring is Adilet Kurmetov, 30 years of age, 1.72 meters tall, two-time champion of Kazakhstan, participant in the World Championship, Continental Championship, and he brings to the ring a perfect professional record. 3 wins out of 3 in the pro ranks, having made his debut in August of 2021. All of his professional bouts taking place in his homeland. Taking up residence in the black corner.
赢得拳击冠军的古巴选手 in the red corner from Cuba, Erislandy Alvarez.
Well, if you're a fan of IBA boxing, this man needs no introduction whatsoever. The very best in the world, Erislandy Alvarez, the 24-year-old from Cienfuegos in the Caribbean island, comes to the ring as the reigning Olympic champion after a magnificent run through the tournament in Paris 2024 earlier this summer. I was ringside to commentate on that tournament, as I was last year at the Humo Arena in Tashkent, where he came away with a silver after a sensational final against Sofian Umahar, who claimed his 3rd world title in the 60-kilogram lightweight division. Erislandy Alvarez, also an undefeated professional, boxing his way to a 3-0 record after making his debut in February of last year. Remember, the moratorium on Cubans competing as professionals now lifted, and he featured on the IBA Champions Night in Havana during part of the International Boxing Day celebrations in the summer over in Havana. Erislandy Alvarez over to the red corner. So there, look at the tail of the tape. Adilet Kurmetov with a slight height advantage in this 63.5 kilogram light welterweight contest.
Kazakhstan
Greater depth of experience and higher level of attainment have been obtained by Erislandy Alvarez of Cuba.
Kazakh veteran Adilet Kurmetov, the Erislandy. 红方选手，24岁的阿尔瓦雷兹，在刚刚结束的巴黎奥运会赢得了轻量级拳击的金牌，在2023年 IBA 的世界拳击锦标赛获得了亚军。And now coming out of the red corner, standing 168 centimeters tall, age 24. He is the golden medalist 2024 Paris Olympic Games lightweight champion and the first runner-up at 2023 Tashkent World Boxing Championship. A la esquina rojo, the fighter from Cuba, ladies and gentlemen, Erislandy Alvarez. And a referee in the ring, Luca Vadilonga. From Italy, Judge 1, Sergei Zurkin, Russia. Judge 2, Veronika Sut, Hungary. Judge 3, Alexandra Hamidov, Uzbekistan.
Okay, guys. Watch your head, no punches back, no low blow, no holding, listen to my command, touch your glove, and good luck. Box.
Well, what a contest we have in store here. Another installment of the classic IBA boxing rivalry between operators from Kazakhstan and Cuba. The man wearing the black trunks trimmed with red is Adilet Kurmetov, 30 years of age, an undefeated professional. The man who has just reached for and found a home for his right cross is wearing red trimmed with black, and that is Erislandy Alvarez, 24 years of age, 3-0 in the professional ranks, successful in his IBA Champions Night debut in his homeland of Cuba. Right-hand lead not too far away from Kurmetov. Turning southpaw momentarily is Alvarez. So two professionals with identical ledgers of 3-0 facing off here in a contest scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds in the 63.5 kilogram light welterweight division. Good scoring jab to the body from Kurmetov. Both men landing backhands almost simultaneously. And Kurmetov showing no respect for the glittering accomplishments of the reigning Olympic champion. 5 wins out of 5 earned by Alvarez to box his way to gold. That's a low blow with a left hook to the body, but then countered by a rapier-like left hand upstairs from Alvarez, as Alvarez drops down with a left hand to the body. And then a strong right cross beneath the left elbow of Kurmetov. And that, I think, has just brought about a little bit of a response. I think Kurmetov felt that shot beneath his short ribs. And perhaps the pain has dissipated now as he's folded over by another strong right cross downstairs, but keeps his attack going as he sought to counter. And in that run of 4 wins out of 4 is a beautiful double left jab, double left hand jab, then hook from Kurmetov. So rabbit punching, just straying around the rear of Kurmetov's head as he was seeking to bob and weave in the pocket. Good right hand to the body again, and he's really found a home for that shot as Alvarez comes out of that exchange as a southpaw. Now he's back in the orthodox stance. Counter left hand was a beautiful shot. It just brought a nod of acknowledgement from Kurmetov as Alvarez seeking to go through the gears, but fighting back, standing his ground is Kurmetov. Alvarez thinking about the 1-2, but didn't fully commit. Again, emerging from that considered 2-shot salvo as a southpaw. Scoring jab downstairs from Alvarez, countered by a stab jab to the body from Kurmetov, who then drives in a right cross downstairs. Alvarez looking for a flashy lead right uppercut, and a nod of respect between the two at the conclusion of what was a very good round of boxing indeed. Some of the action from that opening round, where both men enjoyed success, but for what it's worth, I think Erislandy Alvarez did the better work, more eye-catching, more consistent, and his work to the body was effective indeed. But Adilet Kurmetov certainly in the contest, just don't think that he did enough to take that opening round. So he touched down a moment ago. Mr. Referee, Mr. Luca Varilonga, content to wipe the gloves clean without issuing a count. As we move into the second round of the 5 boxers that Alvarez overcame to box his way to top spot on the podium. What a counter. Corkscrew left hand followed by a right hand over the top, and he's stepping up the gears now, having had a look in the opening round and really putting his combinations together to both body and head. And this is reminiscent of what he did against John Ume of Papua New Guinea in the Paris Olympic Games earlier this summer. Took a look in the opening round, went to another level in the second and got his man out of there. 4 unanimous victories followed thereafter. 4 victories followed thereafter, 3 of them by unanimous decision. The final one over the home boxer Sofian Umahar, who got the better of Alvarez in the gold medal bout of the IBA World Championships in Uzbekistan last year. There's a good scoring straight shot to the body from Kurmetov, who then looking to bring a counter right uppercut into play. But beating a home boxer at a home Olympic Games, who went in as the reigning world champion. That is testament to the accomplishment of Erislandy Alvarez. 4 of his 5 opponents were seeded boxers, and it was a real gauntlet that he had to run to take top spot on the Olympic podium. Just Cuba's 2nd gold medal of the Games, along with the iconic wrestler Mijan Lopez Nunez. In the boxing ring, Julio Cesar La Cruz's quest for 3 world golds, 3 Olympic golds, came up short as Alvarez teeing off with power punches from both flanks now, and he stopped the man in his tracks. He's being buzzed. I think his coordination's betraying him a little bit, but look at the toughness and competitive spirit being demonstrated by Adilet Kurmetov, because he weathered that rally of heavy leather from Alvarez and came back answering. Left-right combination is an accurate salvo once again, followed by a stiff left jab from Alvarez. Big swing and a miss with a left hook from Alvarez, just lost his shape, then a right hand over the top from Kurmetov. Good left hand sunk into the body from Kurmetov as he seeks a search of his get back, and just like his fellow Olympic champion Vasyl Lomachenko of Ukraine, that's a beautiful bolo left hand to the body as Alvarez seeking to go to another level once again, quarrying the body effectively, seeking right hands but a little inaccurate, but his work to the body is anything but inaccurate as he's continuing to tee off on his man, scoring effectively downstairs. Kurmetov seeking to make these exchanges, but he's being outgunned during the course of these trade-offs. Erislandy Alvarez making like a matador, walking backwards, inviting his man to try and tag him while he went to the corner. Kurmetov wasn't interested, remaining stuck on his own game plan. And so Alvarez said, okay, walked him down to the middle of the ring and scored beautifully, particularly to the body. It's another round for Erislandy Alvarez on my scorecard, but again, we have got 3 judges at ringside using the 10-point must system. Some terrific power punching in evidence from Erislandy Alvarez. Hooks and uppercuts finding the chin of Adilet Kurmetov. But he always made a point of firing back after he was put on the end of sustained pressure. Quality action being produced in the boxing ring on this inaugural IBA KUNLUN Fight World Cup.
Round 3.
So we move into the 3rd round then. It's been a beautiful display of boxing so far produced by the reigning Olympic champion. Looking for the right hand over the top, but instead just shooting it over the shoulder of Adilet Kurmetov, who is still competing, still in the contest, but again, I'm not sure that he's doing enough to win the contest as he scores with a lovely left hand to the body, the jab. Alvarez seeking that same shot once again. So Kurmetov, his right hand bringing a round of applause from his corner team in that black corner, but it was short of the mark because the gap between he and Alvarez was too big. And Alvarez just seeking to walk down his man in flat-footed fashion now. That trademark luminous green gum shield being grinned contemptuously in the direction of Kurmetov, as if to say, I know I've hurt you downstairs. See, up on his toes now is Kurmetov, scoring intelligently with a jab to the body, but that is why Alvarez continuing to target the torso. Oh, what a left hook to the body once again from Alvarez. And I think that has hurt Kurmetov because he's backing off, he's not letting his hands go. He's keeping a poker-faced expression, but I think his body language betraying the fact that he was hurt to the body by the exquisite punch-picking of the sharp-shooting sensation, Erislandy Alvarez. Operating as a southpaw boxer now, seeking to close the gap. Clusters of punches being let go as hitting and holding being utilized by Erislandy Alvarez, and referee Mr. Luca Varilonga on that infringement immediately. And I'm not sure he's recovered from these body shots. Adilet Kurmetov always made a point of answering back in the first 2 rounds, and he takes a left hook on the ropes, then followed by a right uppercut. So both men trying to work on the inside. Double jab, right cross over the top, just off the mark. Good 2-shot salvo to the body from Kurmetov, followed by a thrusting left jab. Heavier jab downstairs, landed by Alvarez. 2 men in the same weight class, but when you look at the backs and the builds of the respective boxers, well, Erislandy Alvarez appearing to be from a heavier weight class altogether. And he's got the skill you associate with an Olympic champion from the Caribbean island. Left uppercut, right cross, landing, followed by a roundhouse right. And Kurmetov takes a crunching right hand in his own corner, and it sends him to the canvas. He's saying that it's a slip, but I think that pinpoint accurate right cross was key in sending him to the floor. The first knockdown of the contest. And Erislandy Alvarez has been softening him up to the body, and then he uncorked a cracking right cross to the chin to deposit the teak-tough Adilet Kurmetov on the floor. He gamely got back to his feet, beat the count, but that a dominant round produced by Erislandy Alvarez, who must be in a commanding position on the scorecards with 3 rounds in the book. So negotiating him, maneuvering him to the corner, and that pinpoint right cross catching him right on the point of his chin. And over he went. Adilet Kurmetov sent to the canvas for the first time in this contest.
Come on, go. Cuba. Come on. Kazakhstan, come on. Coach. Coach. Yes, yes, yes.
So we move into the second half of the bout. 3 rounds completed, potential 3 rounds to go, but Adilet Kurmetov was dropped by a beautiful right cross and then right hand to the body from Erislandy Alvarez. Referee Mr. Luca Vadilonga telling the Olympic champ to keep his punches up, but setting about his man now with stalking, menacing intent is Erislandy Alvarez. Walking his man down in flat-footed fashion and continuing to piece him up with that lead left jab. There he looks to bring the backhand into operation. Got Adilet Kurmetov on the ropes once again, and Kurmetov scores with a good left hand to the body, showing Alvarez that he's still in there competing, but he took a heavy left hook, and now Alvarez just seeking to be more accurate, good bobbing and weaving, showing composure under fire. Kurmetov continuing to slip and slide in a bid to avoid this heavy leather, because Alvarez really sitting down on his punches here now in a bid to get maximum leverage on them. Good double jab to the body from Kurmetov, but clubbing right hands going over the top, right uppercut, backs up Kurmetov, and the right hands in all varieties, hooks, uppercuts and crosses, crashing home from the Olympic champion. Kurmetov competing determinedly, doggedly, in a bid to keep himself in contention. But you just get the impression that the punches that Erislandy Alvarez is landing is having a greater effect than the shots that Kurmetov is landing on Alvarez during the course of these exchanges. And again, we mentioned the apparent difference in stature, despite them both being in the same weight class. As that left hook to the body doubled over Kurmetov once again, and another clubbing right hand. Alvarez impassively going about his task and setting about his man. Bit of a forearm bar driven in by Alvarez. Left hook to the body once more, and this is really intelligent boxing from Alvarez. Good left hook landed to the body from Kurmetov, who is one tough individual. My goodness, what a competitive game operator. And again, if you're going to emerge, oh, that is a cracking left-right combination, and another right hand. And Adilet Kurmetov appears to be out on his feet, but his fighting instincts coming to the fore once again, because despite being buzzed, he's continuing to fire back. deciding that offense is the best form of defense as the two men in terrific toe-to-toe exchanges in the space of center ring. What is keeping Kurmetov up? His chin being tagged repeatedly by heavy hooks, crosses and uppercuts from Erislandy Alvarez. And Alvarez, he breathing heavily at the conclusion of that round because he expended so much energy, landing heavy artillery to both body and head of Adilet Kurmetov, cutting him high on the forehead. But this man's toughness is commendable indeed, because how he stayed up under that barrage, well, only he will know. Terrific work once again from Erislandy Alvarez, stopping the man in his tracks. But a boxer in condition, of course, can recover in an instant, and that appears to be what transpired in the boxing ring during that incident-filled fourth round, because Erislandy Alvarez hit his man with everything. There was the right hand that dipped him at the knees, stopped all of his momentum, followed by another cracking right hook. And look who is up off his stool early to re-enter the fray. It is Adilet Kurmetov showing Erislandy Alvarez that I am still here. And when you're a quality combination puncher like Erislandy Alvarez, that can sometimes play tricks in the mind of a knockout artist. As he lands another right cross, followed by a left hook, sitting down on that right cross once again. Adilet Kurmetov, ghosting away to his right, takes another stab jab to the body from the Olympic champion. Counter right hand off the ropes from Kurmetov, showing that he has still got his wits about him. Scoring jab once more from Kurmetov, as Alvarez remaining patient. Right cross is a scoring shot from Kurmetov. Remember, he too a two-time national champion of his homeland, and if you're going to emerge as a national champ from the landlocked Central Asian nation, well, oftentimes that puts you among the very best in the world, and that's no exaggeration. During Cuba's pomp as the dominant Olympic nation during the 1990s, it was often said that if you're the Olympics, if you're the national championship silver medalist, you're probably among the top 5 three-round boxers in the world. Such was the depth of their squad at that particular time. Oh, left jab with a solid shot to lead off that combination from Erislandy Alvarez. Flashing right hand not too far away on the counter from Alvarez. And despite the single shot success of Kurmetov, backed up by the altogether heavier artillery of Alvarez. A little bit of survival mode being entered here now by Kurmetov, having taken that heavy shot, just backing off, not firing back, and allowing his head to clear before stepping back into range. So not only is he tough, Adilet Kurmetov, he's intelligent. Erislandy Savant continuing to walk him down remorselessly. Beautiful right cross once again. Trip hammer left jab being snaked out by Kurmetov, just in a bid to keep Alvarez at bay. But Alvarez contemptuously walking through the punches, putting a little bit of flashy Showtime embellishment on his shots here now. He's established his superiority, but to this point, he has yet to break the spirit of Kurmetov, who is still in there competing, still in there as a danger. As Savant, Erislandy Alvarez, looks for a left uppercut to the body. Again, shots clubbing their way home to the torso of the man from Kazakhstan. Another round in the book, another round in favor of Erislandy Alvarez for my money, but the man in the other corner is still there. It's a dominant display from Erislandy Alvarez, but it's not contradictory, it's not one-way traffic, because Adilet Kurmetov is doing an outstanding job of firing back, despite the punches he has absorbed to both body and head. But I think these rounds pretty convincingly being scored in favor of Erislandy Alvarez, but there's an example of the competitiveness of Adilet Kurmetov, always seeking to respond despite being outscored heavily during the course of this contest.
This is the last round. Last round.
Round 6.
So into the 6th and final round we go in this 63.5 kilogram light welterweight bout. It has been a terrific performance so far. Erislandy Alvarez, the reigning Olympic champion, the 2023 World Championship silver medalist, has been in aggressive mood and has landed with some really hurtful shots to both body and head. Adilet Kurmetov has had flashes of success. He was sent to the floor in the 3rd round by a picture-perfect right cross, and here he finds himself pinned on the ropes. He's bobbing and weaving, slides away from the onslaught from Alvarez and answered back with a burst of punches to the body of his own. What a right uppercut from Alvarez. But Kurmetov, he is one tough individual who has worked himself into magnificent condition to withstand these punches that Alvarez is scoring upon him with in repeated fashion. Good right hand to the body from Kurmetov and turns it into a right uppercut, but then a right hook, left hook, and Kurmetov being put on unsteady legs once again. Disengages to increase the gap, but his senses have recovered and he's digging away downstairs once more with punches from both flanks. Takes another left uppercut on the inside, followed by a right uppercut from Savant. And this is producing two-way action of the highest order, but the man who appears to possess the heavy weaponry with that flashing right uppercut is Erislandy Alvarez. And the manner in which he's quarrying away to the body is notable indeed. That's why boxers simply no room to cut corners during training camp, as Alvarez seeking to chop him down once more, but Kurmetov gets himself away from the confinement of the strands, but he's going from rope to rope here in the boxing ring. Alvarez momentarily backed up, left hook over the top from the Olympic champ. Right cross is a cracking shot from Alvarez. But look at the competitive fire still burning brightly, fueling the boxing of Adilet Kurmetov, who takes a cracking left hook to the body. But he's still in there firing back. Here's the man from Kazakhstan. Still believing that he can win, but he takes a combination of punches, hooks through around the corner and uppercuts through the middle from Erislandy Alvarez. And Erislandy Alvarez, well, this one is going to go the distance, and it didn't look as though it would be that way when Alvarez asserted his dominance in the middle of the contest. But the two of them letting their hands go as though they're boxing in the confines of a phone booth. The chin of Kurmetov checked thoroughly once again, and he remained upright during that furious trade-off to conclude this spectacular 6-round contest in the 63.5 kilogram light welterweight division. But there can be little doubt about the victor. Erislandy Alvarez climbing the neutral corner turnbuckle to engage with the fans here at the National Indoor Stadium in Beijing. A cracking contest where we witnessed back and forth action of the highest quality, but Erislandy Alvarez, by virtue of his heavier punches, surely getting the better of most of the exchanges. But Adilet Kurmetov deserves immense kudos and credit for the toughness and competitive spirit that he demonstrated throughout the entirety of that bout. No respect for the reputation or accomplishments of Erislandy Alvarez, and Alvarez was forced to earn everything. Make no mistake, he scored with regularity, he scored with quality. I think he's going to be declared as the unanimous point decision victor here, but he will know that he was in a contest here tonight, because when he was hitting his opponent with his Sunday punches, Kurmetov would blink, sometimes was stunned momentarily, would clear the cobwebs and fire back immediately. And all of those qualities combining to produce a contest of the most entertaining variety. Just awaiting the official particulars now, and I think Erislandy Alvarez is going to be declared a unanimous points decision victor.
首先我问一下，这场比赛打得精彩吗？本场比赛经过裁判的裁定 ，and all the three judges scored this bout by unanimous decision. Señoras y señores, tu ganador desde Cuba, Hong Feng.
So Erislandy Alvarez all smiles as he's declared as the unanimous points decision victor here at the National Indoor Stadium in Beijing.
The Secretary General
draped in that Cuban flag.
IBA.
And wonderful to see that respect between Adilet Kurmetov and Erislandy Alvarez. These two men bonded for life from the 6 rounds they have just shared in the boxing ring. And for Adilet Kurmetov, despite the defeat, I think that's a contest that is going to improve his stock markedly, because everybody now knows who he is, because he has held his own and gone toe-to-toe with the Olympic champion. Not a close contest in the end, but the manner in which he performed means that promoters will be knocking on his door, and it takes a boxer of this quality to prevail in the manner that he did. Erislandy Alvarez, $20,000 US richer, and that he will take home to Cuba, seeking to improve the life for his son and continue to honor the memory of his late grandmother, who was such an inspiration during his run to the silver medal rostrum in the World Championships last year and the gold medal rostrum in the Olympic Games in Paris earlier this summer. Well, both men began this contest in confident fashion. The quality of Erislandy Alvarez saw him get on top, but competing doggedly in determined fashion was Adilet Kurmetov. Was sent to the canvas in the 3rd round by that picture-perfect right cross. That was towards the end of the round. But thereafter, despite having his chin checked on a regular basis, wore the punch as well and came firing back in storming fashion. There was the moment of confirmation. Erislandy Alvarez, a unanimous points decision.